But when you have deliberate, concerted, repeated pushing of hoaxes, you're like, wait a second.
Who is in charge? I think Elon Musk believes he's president.
In an unexpected and unprecedented turn of events, The View, the long-running daytime talk show known for its fiery debates and outspoken panelists, has officially come to an end. After being slammed with over 30 defamation lawsuits, the show's legacy has been marred by controversy, legal turmoil, and mounting public criticism. For years, The View walked a thin line between provocative discussion and inflammatory commentary, but it finally crossed too many boundaries, leaving the network no choice but to pull the plug. Central to the chaos is Whoopi Goldberg, the show's most prominent co-host and one of the most polarizing figures in modern television. Goldberg's history of sharp remarks and her unapologetic approach to political commentary became the fuel for many of the lawsuits that ultimately dismantled the program. Throughout its decades-long run, The View cultivated a reputation as a space where celebrities, politicians, and cultural figures were relentlessly grilled by its outspoken hosts. The show prided itself on sparking heated debates and tackling tough issues head-on. However, its polarizing format also came with inherent risks, as it often blurred the line between fair critique and reckless accusations. This became increasingly clear as lawsuits began to pile up, targeting not just the show itself but Goldberg in particular, whose comments about some of the world's most prominent figures sparked public outcry and legal battles. Whoopi Goldberg, an Emmy and Academy Award-winning entertainer, had long been a key figure on the show. Her wit, charisma, and willingness to speak her mind earned her both admiration and criticism. Over the years, she became known for her no-holds-barred approach to political discourse, which often placed her at the center of controversy. One of the earliest signs of trouble came when Goldberg turned her ire on tech billionaire Elon Musk, accusing him of acting as though he were the president of the United States. During a viral segment, Goldberg dismissed Musk as unqualified to wield significant influence, claiming he lacked the expertise needed to handle matters of national security. "This is the guy who clearly knows nothing about the military," she said, a comment that was quickly criticized as not only dismissive but factually inaccurate. Musk's achievements in the realms of technology and innovation were well documented, and many felt Goldberg's remarks unfairly undermined his credibility. It didn't take long for Musk to retaliate. His legal team filed a defamation lawsuit against The View, accusing Goldberg of making baseless claims designed to harm his reputation. According to the suit, Goldberg's comments not only damaged Musk's standing as a public figure but also jeopardized his business ventures. This marked the beginning of a wave of lawsuits that exposed the show's growing vulnerability and brought its contentious format under intense scrutiny. The Trump family was next to take legal action against the show. For years, Donald Trump and his family had been frequent targets of The View's scathing commentary, with Goldberg often leading the charge. The former president and his family alleged that the show perpetuated false narratives and conspiracies about their personal and professional lives. Trump, known for his combative personality, vowed to fight back, promising to hold Goldberg accountable for what he described as years of defamatory and malicious rhetoric. The Trump family's lawsuit accused the show of intentionally spreading misinformation to damage their reputation, turning the legal fight into a highly publicized spectacle. The controversies didn't stop with Musk and Trump. In a surprising turn of events, country music superstar Carrie Underwood also became entangled in the legal drama. During a segment on the show, Goldberg implied that Underwood had engaged in corrupt practices within the entertainment industry, suggesting that her success was the result of manipulation rather than merit. The claims were baseless but deeply damaging to Underwood's carefully crafted image as a hardworking, principled artist. Underwood's legal team responded by filing a defamation lawsuit, arguing that Goldberg's remarks had caused significant harm to her career and public reputation. The lawsuit highlighted The View's failure to fact-check its commentary and underscored the risks of making unsubstantiated claims about public figures. Another high-profile lawsuit came from podcast host Joe Rogan, whose influence and controversial takes on societal issues have made him a lightning rod for debate. During a particularly heated segment, Goldberg accused Rogan of spreading misinformation, calling him dangerous and irresponsible. Rogan, who has faced criticism in the past but remains steadfast in defending his reputation, responded with a defamation lawsuit of his own. His legal team argued that Goldberg's remarks were not only false but deliberately damaging, portraying Rogan as a public figure lacking credibility. The lawsuit further intensified the backlash against The View and added another layer of complexity to the show's mounting legal troubles. The financial toll of defending against so many lawsuits quickly became insurmountable. With each new legal challenge, the cost of litigation ballooned, straining the show's resources and pushing it to the brink. Advertisers, wary of being associated with the controversy, began pulling their support, depriving the program of the sponsorship revenue it relied on to stay afloat. Without sufficient funding to cover legal fees and production costs, the network was left with no choice but to end The View. Behind the scenes, tensions among the co-hosts and producers reportedly reached a breaking point. Sources close to the show revealed that morale was at an all-time low, with Goldberg and her fellow hosts struggling to navigate the increasingly hostile public and legal landscape. Efforts to tone down the show's controversial rhetoric came too late to undo the damage, and the final episodes of The View aired quietly, a stark contrast to the high-profile debates and viral moments that had defined its earlier years. The collapse of The View serves as a cautionary tale for media outlets and public figures. The show's downfall underscores the importance of balancing bold opinions with factual accuracy and accountability. While The View thrived on its provocative format, its inability to rein in inflammatory commentary ultimately proved to be its undoing. The lawsuits from Musk, Trump, Underwood, Rogan, and others highlight the growing expectation for media platforms to exercise greater care in their coverage and commentary, particularly in an age where misinformation can spread rapidly and cause lasting harm. For Goldberg, the fallout represents a significant turning point in her career. Once hailed as a trailblazer in entertainment and media, she now faces the challenge of rebuilding her reputation in the wake of The View's cancellation. Critics argue that her downfall was self-inflicted, pointing to years of inflammatory remarks and unchecked rhetoric as the root cause of her troubles. Supporters, however, view her as a victim of an increasingly litigious culture that often penalizes outspoken women. The legacy of The View remains a topic of debate. For some, the show will be remembered as a groundbreaking platform that elevated women's voices and tackled important cultural and political issues. For others, its legacy is tarnished by controversy, legal battles, and the unchecked commentary that ultimately led to its downfall. The closure of The View also raises important questions about the responsibilities of talk shows in shaping public discourse. Should programs like The View be held to the same standards as traditional news outlets? And how can media balance the need for engaging, provocative content with the responsibility to avoid spreading harmful claims? As audiences reflect on the show's demise, The View stands as both a reminder of the power of media to influence public opinion and a cautionary tale about the consequences of overstepping boundaries. Whether seen as a groundbreaking forum for discussion or a prime example of the dangers of unchecked commentary, the impact of The View on the media landscape is undeniable. Its closure marks the end of an era in daytime television, leaving behind important lessons for media creators, public figures, and audiences alike.